I'm Armaan Franklin, Cathedral High School, 2019 IU basketball commit.
When did basketball start for you?
Basketball started for me when I was 4 years old. I was in Houston, Texas, and my two older brothers, they had like this basketball tryout thing, and then they had like the little kids on the other side that were playing, and I was like begging my mom to go like try out and play, and she was like no. And then she went up to the coach and was like, can you like let my son try out? And she gave him like a wink to like not let me do anything, but he ended up letting me do it. And the kids were all like a year older than me, and I was doing everything they did, so he just let me be on the team. My mom was really kind of upset about it, but she let it slide.
So when you were progressing, growing up,
Yeah.
When did you realize that basketball could really be something you followed?
Started around like third grade, and then I was good at third grade, and then as time grew on, like everybody was like catching up, and then I was kind of like a down couple years, and then it started to pick back up around junior year, and I think that's really when I realized I could go somewhere with this.
And then when you got to high school, I mean, your path's a little weird
Yeah.
because you went to Cathedral, then to Fishers, and back here.
Yeah.
So why did that all go down?
Cathedral, I went here my freshman year just because I feel like it'd be best for me, and then some unfortunate situations happened, which made me go to Fishers for a year. But when I got the opportunity to come back, I didn't pass it up and took advantage of it.
And then progressing through your high school game, your recruitment really started to ramp up your junior year. So what was that entire experience like from your perspective?
It was odd because people really don't like blow up during the high school season. It's more AAU type, but it was fun. Like, I don't know, just playing well, getting recognized, people over school congratulating you, and it was just a good experience for me.
Through the process, Archie kind of came in late after other schools, but where was your head at probably right before Archie started reaching out?
Right before he started reaching out, I was just about to like start narrowing down who I wanted to visit and who I wanted to cut off the list. And once he started reaching out, like we got to communicate and got to build a relationship, and he was added to that list that I wanted to keep. So I think we just built a good relationship.
So what went into building that relationship? What type of person do you think Archie is that makes him so perfect for you?
He's a straightforward business guy. He gets straight to the point. He's laid back like me, like off the court, but on the court he has great intensity with it. So I think that's a good thing for me.
So ultimately, you made the decision to go IU, but what went into that decision?
I just felt like it was the best decision for me to get me to where I want to go, and that's the highest level, play at the highest level possible.
And you also had to make the decision to pick IU over Purdue. What was that decision like?
It was tough, knowing that my best friend, he's a Purdue commit. There was some hard feelings for that for a couple hours, but again, that's my brother Isaiah Thompson. But we patched it up, and it's brothers from now.
So when you guys match up in the college game, what do you think that's going to be like?
First of all, we match up in high school first, so that's gonna be a fun. But as long as he doesn't say anything to me, I won't say nothing to him.
Now looking on the court, how would you kind of describe your game?
I describe my game as a complete two-way player in my eyes. I think I can play offense as good as defense, but I think I just bring intensity, a leader. Basically, that's how I describe my game.
So what are you looking to improve on now in this next year?
Definitely just improving my handling abilities, because playing at the next level, you got guards that'll probably pressure you full court, so you just gotta fix your handle. And then for me, I think the next step is just expanding my three-point range, getting deeper, so just to be more effective, more of a threat.
Now, one of the things that fans in Indiana are extremely excited about is the fact that Archie's recruiting in-state. What was kind of your reaction when he brought in that last class with Romeo and Demezi?
That was a big thing for me. There's 3 in-state kids who I all know about. They all know me, so we're all kind of cool. So especially me and Demezi, we grew up together in South Bend. So I think that was good for me. It just opened my eyes to what he can do and what he's trying to do.
So what has Demezi told you about Indiana?
He just told me, we didn't really talk about it. He just told me just do what's best for me and what I thought was best for me. And he was more like a brother to me than like trying to recruit, so it was like a brother thing.
Moving forward with that Indiana recruiting, of course, you're not the only one that Indiana's looking at right now. You got Trace Jackson and Keon Brooks, and we all know you're trying to pitch them on IU. So what are your conversations with them two like?
Trace and Keon, I've known them since we were little. We just talk about like what we can do in state. Like I always tell them like, why make another state great when you can make your own great? So that's just my message to them.
How often are you talking to them?
I talk to Trace. Me and Trace are in like the same group chat, so we always talking. And then Keon, I talk to him on occasion.
Now, you know how the whole state of Indiana works with the high school programs. What's kind of the mentality a lot of players have now looking at Indiana basketball because they're starting to recruit better in-state?
Just recruiting in-state kids, getting the top players from in-state. I think that's how they draw the most attention, really. Like in-state people love the in-state kids, really. So.
Now, looking to how you got to this point, how do you think Cathedral helped you get here?
Definitely helped me a lot. Coming back, Coach Delaney, he's helped me a lot. He's big on player development, but I can go to him for more than just basketball. I can go to him about life, about anything. So I think he just played a huge role. And then this faculty and the staff, they just support me through everything.
What was his advice to you during the recruiting process?
Just take your time, don't be in a rush. Just find what's important for you, what are the biggest things, and don't let anybody like try to sway your mind just because of all the other things they have, the material things. So it's just basically beyond basketball, really.
Well, he said don't be in a rush, but you committed early. How helpful is it to know that you're going into your senior year already set on where you're going to school?
It just felt like when I did it, it felt like a weight was lifted off my back. I didn't have to go on recruiting trips or be stressing about where I want to go and what I want to do. So I think it was just like a huge weight lifted off my back.
Now I know you've got a basketball family. Your aunt is, of course, the women's basketball coach at Penn State. How did she help you through the recruiting process?
She helped me a lot. She went on a lot of visits with me. We had a lot of late night phone calls talking about it. A couple days before I committed, we were on the phone writing down what was most important to me and then checking off boxes to see who did it. So she was like a big impact in the whole recruiting process for me.
And since she's a coach, she could probably see through some of the coach speak, some of the BS, to be honest. What'd she think of Archie?
She thought Archie was a great coach, very business-minded. She talked her resources around her, did her research on Archie. So she really did her homework on him, and she really liked who he was and what he's about.
What was the biggest struggle in your entire career?
The biggest struggle for me was just staying patient. Like I was getting antsy. I was sometimes in the first couple years of high school, I felt like I should be on varsity and getting more shots, but I think it's just staying patient and just staying patient, really. Just keep working hard, keep my head down, and just working. Since
you were late to blow up on the recruiting radar, what would you kind of say to kids that are kind of under-recruited and undervaluated?
Just stick with it, keep working hard, really. Those are the two biggest things, and know that your time is coming. You just gotta take advantage of it.
Now looking forward, what are your goals for this year at Cathedral?
This year, I want to lead my team to a state championship, and then hopefully that'll lead to bigger personal goals for like Mr. Basketball and all that, so Indiana All-Star.
And what about at Indiana? You started to think about what you can accomplish as a Hoosier?
Just being the in-state guy who helps the team out whenever they need it, the energy guy, all that.
But what about accomplishments? Have you thought about what you're going to do there?
Of course, Big Ten honors are a goal for me. And then no matter how long it takes me to complete my career, I just want to get to the highest level possible, and that's the NBA.
And how did the fan environment impact you?
It was big. I went to a game last year versus, I believe it was Northwestern, and the fans were just awesome. Even though it was like a kind of a down year, the fans were still there. They were hype and everything, so I really enjoyed it.
And lastly, before every game, what music are you bumping?
This is a secret, but I listen to classical music before games.
What?
Yes. The hype music, it gets me all anxious and shaky, and I listen to classical music to relax me and all that.
So what are we, like, big on Mozart? Is that your thing?
Yes. Classical music before every game is a must.
I don't know if you're going to get that to spread in the Indiana locker room, but you can have your headphones in. Oh, wow. That's perfect. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure.